Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack at it. And as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, man, we're going to talk about the Chicano biker movement, right? What I wanted to say, man, in a menudo style in a direct fashion is, quietly as it's kept, man, Chicano's been doing this biker shit for a very long time, you know? It seemed like the biker thing exploded, man, after the Vietnam War. You know, after the Vietnam War, you had a lot of soldiers that came back kind of fucked up in the head, man. They came back, they wanted their independence, man. They wanted to be, free. They were just a little bit different. A lot of autos seen a lot of things, man, that'll make people think twice. And, they were outcasted. A lot of people were tripping because they went and fought in the Vietnam War. That felt like, man, that shouldn't have happened. Then a lot of people were like, you know what I mean? Them Vatos, look at them, man. They're a little different. They're killers. They're this, they're that. And quietly as it's kept, man, these people should have been praised, man, should have been well respected. And some of them were. But being of a Chicano nature anyways, man, they were already going to be slandered and looked at a little bit differently because back in them times, man, they weren't getting their equal rights just like everybody else. There's always been some form or fashion of oppression for the people. Anyways, so a lot of these renegades, man, a lot of these against the grain rebels, man, jumped on motorcycles for that freedom, that rush, that be able to go get up and go anywhere you wanted to all over the country. And also, man, they started to form clubs, motorcycle clubs. And that gave them that camaraderie, man. They gave them that feel of still being, around their brothers, in the army, the Marines, or whatever the case may be. And so that's how it began, man. Like I say, everything in life begins as a good cause and then takes a nasty turn, man, when individuals, man, act stupid. And in that fashion, right? But let's talk, man, some real, what really happened. So what tends to happen in life, man, is you get a few individuals that play that individualism and favoritism, and they get in there like, Sasuke, watcha, jumping on the wrong way, on the high, we're outlaws, vato. And a lot of vatos started gravitating towards outlaw biker clubs, right? And clubs started to be formed, man. And for no other reason than Chicano, there was a lot of Chicanos that couldn't be involved in certain clubs because a lot of these clubs had underlying tones of racism or being just a little bit biased towards ethnic people, minorities especially. And so, I know there was groups like the Hells Angels that even though they had the underlying tones, they still accepted Chicanos into their ranks, into the fold. Back in them days, I can't call it like an alcoholic if that was the case, but I know that eventually they did. Even nowadays, they take a little bit more. But these Chicano started to form their own clubs, Chicano style. Eventually, you had the Mongols, and the Mongols were established, down south. They're mainly a Latino-based club. Now, of course, you have Gavas in the club. You have a little bit of everything. Of course, no Africanos. And I'm going to tell you the reason why there's no Africanos in that club. I'm going to give you the straight up reason why, the reasoning behind that. But they do have a lot of Chicanos. It's a predominantly Chicano club. And, they've been doing their thing, man. And you got to understand that the Mongols, being one of the most highest notorious clubs, in the world, they're very recognized, not only for that Mongolian haircut, because there's not a lot of the Vatos that rock that, but just for their tenacity, the voraciousness, and things that they've done, since they've been around. Very well established, we could talk about it, man. Everyone sees the bad, you know what I mean? But the gun sees the good. Bang, bang. There's a lot of good that they do, man. A lot of them are 9-to-5ers, man, just hard workers that, like to ride, and like to be from that club, man, and got love for their brothers. When you join the MC world, man, according to some of my friends that I know that are now bikers, man, Chicanos, they talk about being a man. You left that gang shit at the door, man. You let all that shit go, and a lot of them are ex-gang members or we're living that life. And they become men now. They come in, they ride together as brothers and as loved ones, man, and that's what it is. And there's a lot of rules and regulations of the MC world, man, that I can't get into. That's their thing. But all I'm here to say, man, is the Chicanos be fucking getting their wiggle on. No doubt about that, and in that fashion. And, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. That's another avenue, another channel for these youngsters, man, that want to get involved in gangbanging because they want to feel familia around them. They don't have maybe that love at home. They don't have that familia at home to fuck with them. They want to do something, man. Go join a motorcycle club. See what that gets you, Most definitely, man, it's going to get you some brothers. At the end of the day, some very fucking faithful, righteous brothers, man, that got your back no matter what. That's what I can guarantee. At the same time, it could get you a life sentence, man, if you're fucking around with the wrong club. But hey, in life, man, you can get a life sentence if you're walking down the street, you see a J-Cat, man, you want to slap the shit out of him. He wants to slap back, and then bang, bang. You know what I mean? Next thing you know, you're doing all day. So anything could happen in life. But back to these bikers. So the Mongols, right? They have a lot of different rules and regulations, you know. I think being a Chicano though and being part of that club, man, you get to be around a lot of like-minded and a lot of brothers that look like yourself, man, that have the same type of flavor, you know, have the same twist on words, grew up around the same areas, got the same oppressions, the same plights, the same struggles, you know. And for that, that's a good thing, you know. And I know that the Mongols, you know, my homeboy, I asked him one time, I said, man, you know, he's an affiliate of the Mongols. And I said, you know, why aren't there Africanos in the Mongols? You know, he wouldn't tell me. He definitely wouldn't tell me, man. That was not his place to tell me. But I did talk to one little Dave. You know, I did talk to one little Dave who was the national president for several years, international president of the Mongols, you know. And I personally talked to Dave, and he told me, I said, why don't you guys have Africanos in your club? And he says, I'm not a racist man. By far, I'm not a racist man. I got a lot of friends that are Africanos. I got love for them people, man. And I'm definitely not racist. I said, well, what is it, bro? He said, well, what happens is it's politics, brother. He says, it's politics. He says, you know, what happens if me and my brother, man, who's an Africano, go to, catch a case and we go to prison? He goes, well, what's going to happen, man, is he's going to have to roll with his people, and I'm going to have to roll down south with my people for political reasons. And being that they don't get along within the prison, we're talking about the Vatos from down south and Africanos who tend to not get along in prison. Nowadays it's a little bit different, I guess, with the Zen hostilities. Still, Vatos are doing their own thing. He said, if we don't fucking get along, well, in there, bro, this is my brother. You know, it's a different story for someone that's a Crip or Blood. He said, this is a fucking biker. This is one of my bros. And he's going to have to go with these people. I have to go mine. And the political makeup ain't going to be cool because they might have to have me hit him. Or if something goes down, vice versa. And he goes, and it's just something we don't want to happen, man. We try to minimize that. He goes, but that's the main reasoning behind it. He goes, now some tend to believe that, man, it's a racial thing, but it's nothing like that, man. It's all political. He says, man, he knows a lot of Africanos, man, that he would love to have in his club. He would love to have in his ranks, but it probably would never happen, man, unless, something changes within the prison system, which is starting to happen. So one could only hope, that'd be a good look, man, to open the doors for whoever it may be. Not necessarily just the Africanos, but anyone that wants to participate in the club. But that's their thing, their business, and they're going to do it how they see fit, and righteously so. They've been doing it, man, and they got that coming. Okay, let's talk about other Chicano clubs, man. There's Chicano clubs like Chicano Life. I've seen a lot, man. Shout out to Vatos like from Chicano Life, Vatos from the Mongols, like I said. There's Vatos from, what are they called? The fucking, the Cochinos Motorcycle Club, La Raza Motorcycle Club. All these Vatos, man, are, well-established, well-known clubs that, man, not only support each other, but have been out there supporting the raza, toy drives, rides for the people, out there just giving stuff away, man, working hard in the community, man, to bring people together to understand, man, that that the stigma of being a biker, man, ain't all that stuff's good. They're not all fucking dirtbags, right? They don't all need to take a shower. Well, they do need to take a shower. But jump your ass in there one time for your mind. The water's fine with the orale. Even if it's cold, take one, motherfucker. Take one. Orale. Fucking Hogs Wild. But Trip, they just do a lot for the community. Good gente, man. At the end of the day, a Chicano's a Chicano. I got invited to La Raza Motorcycle Club, I believe it was, man, to go be a part of something that they have once a year. I wasn't able to make it, but, man, just the invitation itself, man, was a big thing for me, because I got love for the gente, man. I got love for these MCCs. Clubhouses. I got love, or the MCC clubhouses. I got love for the the gente as a whole, trying to do something different for the people, and this Latino movement of motorcycle clubs, which is starting to take notice. Even in the Bay Area, you got clubs like Most Wanted. Most Wanted, who of course having the colors red and black, man. A lot of people either affiliate them with sympathizers to the Hells Angels cause, or ex-Norteños trying to be a cross between the Norteños and the bikers. And there are some, man. There are a lot, I would say, ex-Norteños or Vatos that stir sympathizers to the Northern cause that are riding. But for the most part, man, it's just a club. It's just a club. Vatos got together, man. They formed a clubhouse, and they're doing their thing. Now, I'm not sure if they're one percenters. And let me clean some shit up, man. People ask, what are one percenters? And one percenters, there used to be there was a newspaper article that came out a long time ago, or it was a magazine articles, I'm not sure, where they said 1%, the biker world, in the biker world, they're 1% of the fucking, 1% of the bikers, man, are outlaws. As far as outlaw bikers, meaning they're 1% fucking something like that, man. They're 1% of the fucking. Basically, they were trying to say 1% of them are dirt bags. Nah, 1% of them will fucking take your whole shit off, right? Um, but this was just a stigma that was put on them, and they kind of ran with it. 1%. It's like, that's right, man. We're 1% of the world, that are really out here doing it. Um, But the Chicano, like I said, the Chicano movement, as far as being bikers and shit, that shit exploded in the 60s, man. In the 60s, 70s, 80s, my dad always rode a bike. He had friends that were from Hell's Angels. I told a story about Eddie Harrell, and I'll tell you the story right now, man. Eddie Harrell, I was actually locked up with him. I did a little time with him, later on down the line, which was a trip because I seen this vato on fucking America's Most Wanted. Right? I remember sitting down one day and my mom was like, "Oh shit, that's Eddie," because she recognized him. He was one of my dad's good friends. And I sat there and watched the story on America's Most Wanted, and tripped out. And the story goes like this, man. You know, Eddie Hart was actually a Indio, Native American, man, that kicked it with nothing but Chicanos, as well as kicking back with fucking, the Hells Angels, or he was affiliated or part of the Hells Angels. I'm not sure. And a couple Chicanos, man, a couple of my dad's homeboys from Modesto. Um, the Flores brothers, Gilbert and I think it was Danny Flores, man. They actually, one of them broke into fucking Eddie Harrell's house and stole some shit from his pad, and got recognized by his truck. And Eddie Harrell and these other bikers, man, these Hells Angels actually kidnapped him. The Flores brothers took him out in the country, man, and shotgunned him to death, And I remember that was a big deal in Modesto, specifically because that was my dad's homeboys. It involved the Chicanos, and was just being talked about out there. I ended up running into him years later, man, in prison, and he actually came up to me. He says, "Hey, is your name Whoop De Whoop?" Because me and my father had the same name, and I said, "Yeah, I'm a junior." He says, "Yeah, I'm Eddie Harrell, man. Me and your dad, I used to change your fucking diapers when I was little." I said, "Then you know how big my pipa is?" He started laughing. And he said, "Hey, what's cracking, man?" And I got to telling him when I was little, man. I seen the story, and he told me, yeah, he was a Hell's Angels affiliate, and you know this, and that, and what they did, they did. He's out now, man, from what I heard, and I know they made a Lifetime movie about that, and whatever the case may be. But yeah, like I said, man, my dad used to ride a bike. I had several tios that ride a bike. I have several homeboys I grew up with, man, that now ride bikes. And it's something that it's in a man. A man likes that freedom. A man likes to ride, man. A man likes to get out there with the fucking wind in his eyes and what the vámonos a la verga, right? Saca la bolsita and get gone, right? In a menudo style. But at the same time, you got to understand, not every man can be a part of a clubhouse. Not every man has what it takes to go in there with that creed, man, to go in there and be a brother, and to go in there and, grasp the concept of living in the way of life, man, and the what they do, because they got certain things that they do, man. Vato's got to be there 24 hours a day, 24/7. You're on call, Vato, when you're a biker. You know what I mean? Your brothers need you. You better fucking show up and show out. That's just what it is. But Chicanos have it in them, that warrior mentality, what they've always been through, that struggle, it's just built into them. It's built into them, man, and they tend to fucking do that, And, you know, I could talk about, and I do want to talk about the Mongols and the Hells Angels beef, Being that the Mongols is a predominantly Chicano club, and the Hells Angels are considered a predominantly white club, right? You would think that these guys would get along because the general makeup in prison in California is the Sureños, the white boys. They pretty much run together. But there are the stigma. Don't trip on that. There are some fucking. So I've been on some yards where they're going at it. The skinheads and the Sureños are getting it, man. They're getting it in a real fashion, and it's the same thing out there, man. I'm not going to tell you what led up to the beef, other than from what I heard between the Mongols and the Hells Angels it was over the California bottom rocker. Of course, Hell's Angels being well established for many, many years there, we're the only ones to rock the California bottom rocker. For those of you that don't know the bottom rockers, when you're an outlaw biker, you got 3-piece patch, man. The top's going to say fucking, your hood affiliation basically club, like Mongols. The middle's going to be that patch, their symbol of the guy with the Mongolian riding the chopper. And then on the bottom is going to have your bottom rocker, which consists of the city you're from, state, whatever. And notoriously, man, the Hells Angels have always rocked the California, meaning that they have claim to all of California. So when the Mongols came out, at first they were rocking their areas. They decided, man, we're going to do this California thing too, because we are well established throughout the state of California. They started rocking it. The Hells Angels didn't take light to that. They came at them. Valta said, we ain't doing nothing, homes, right? We ain't fucking taking nothing off. Of course, Chicanos, man, are down for their shit. Period. Don't matter if you're the Hells Angels. Don't matter, And I ain't trying to disrespect the Hells Angels or saying that they were suckers in this situation. I'm just saying they fucking refused. The Mongols said, vale verga, and in that fucking fashion. How does that gun say it? Menudo, homes, in a Mongol fashion. They did that. And the war was on. And everybody knows about Laughlin, Nevada. Everybody knows about what took place in the casino. And everybody knows about Doc Cavazos, who was the national president at that time. And then how they transitioned to Little Dave and how he changed a lot of things for the good or for the bad, depending on how you see it. Whatever the case may be, man, that's a very strong Chicano club. Very infatuated with the Chicano movement. Very infatuated with the Chicano stilo. You see a lot of vatos, they look like cholos, homie, brim hats, clean, white beaters. Ben Davis is on, but then they got their chaleco, which is their cut, right? And it's just what it is, man. It's just what it is. You can't take or discount, man, the everything that Chicanos have put into the biker movement. So anyways, the Hells Angels being a predominantly white club, that do have some Chicanos within its ranks. And the Mongols have been notoriously going at it, notoriously going at it for years, and everybody knows about that beef, man. And it's just a cold game to see two powerhouses, but you're always going to see that, man, just like with Norteños and Sureños. You see two powerhouses, vatos that are well respected, vatos that are well established, just can't fucking get along. It's been like that. But that holds no bearing into the white Chicano thing. It's not a racial thing, man. Of course, the Chicanos are going to look at it that way. They're just hating on us because we're Chicanos. And the white birds are going to say, you can never be like us. It's that superiority. And it's just the way it is, man. Whether they're fucking bikers, whether it's fucking people that work at Taco Bell. So they don't give a fuck. We're white and we're right. Period. Puto. And that's just what it is. Anyways, yeah, as far as Chicanos, like I said, the movement is big, especially in California, throughout the whole western states, Texas, you have the Bandidos. They got a lot of Chicano influence, a lot of Tejano, Mexicano influence. You got, let me see, you got just a lot, bro, a lot. But a lot of these homegrown clubs, too, like I said, man, the La Raza Motorcycle Club, Chicano Style, Famero Motorcycle Club. I seen Vatos from fucking the Cochinos, all these guys, get their respect. Then they're going to establish and have their respect because for the things that they do for the community, putting the raza on the map in the MC world, homie. Show, do your thing. And then that, bing, da, bound. And what's the trip is you'll see a lot of Chicanos that are bikers in prison. And there's, some misconceptions there. They're like, hey, they're bikers. They're fucking crazy. They could do whatever they want. Charlie, man, you gonna mind somebody. Oh, yes. You motherfucker, you gonna mind somebody. Usually, if the bikers are from down south, man, they're gonna identify with being residents and the Sureño plight. And up north, man, it's kind of a vice versa thing, man. And you're gonna fall into the fold with the Norteños, or fall out of the fold, get your head folded by the Norteños. That's just what it is. I've seen it time and time again. Vatos going there, Chicano, talking about they rocked with the Hells Angels. Yeah, well, guess what, Vato? You know what I mean? This is what it's gonna be like. You know what I mean? Are you with this? Or are you against us? Well, I'm a biker. Well, that means you're against us. Sauce, and then they're going to get off on you. This happens over and over again. But anyways, I just wanted to put a little spill out there, man. All these Chicano influenced motorcycle clubs stand up, man. It's nothing but respect and love right here from Gunner's Collector's Playhouse. Indubitably, based on the fact, man, that you vatos have been fucking doing it, Not necessarily the crime and whatever you get into. That's your fucking business. Handle your business however you see fit. But, man, just for fucking giving the Chicano people a different avenue, a different channel, especially these young children to go to instead of gangs, And at the end of the day, a lot of people are going to say, well, they're just a gang too, Charlie, man. They're a club. Whatever every individual chooses to do on his own or chooses to do for the benefit of the club is on him, man. But not all of them are like that. They get a big fucking stigma of them. They're all being dirtbags, like I said. They might need showers, homie, but that doesn't mean they don't use deodorante. You use some deodorant in that fashion. Speed stick. It always works. Anyways, with that being said, man, I hope that you guys move fast with a purpose. You know, I hope you hustle. Go out there and get it. Go out there and get it for your familia. Go out there and get it for the people, for the gente, for the people, by the people. At the end of the day, man, that's all we have. You know, it's all about uniting the raza and making shit happen. The gun. Bang, bang.